Hi there and welcome to another edition of Shayla TV. Today I'm actually in Great Budworth and we're actually by a pub called the Georgian Dragon, which is on a pilgrimage trail indeed, and has been in on this site for many years, many centuries, where pilgrims will have stopped off on the way on their various visits to certain churches, other monuments, pillars, obelisks that all form part of this pilgrimage trail. Now obviously I see the Georgian Dragon pub here as a sign, because we all know the story of George and the dragon. St George, of course, is the incarnate of Jesus of his day, and it is said, of course, that this dragon takes their women folk away and kills them, and George slays the dragon. Well, if you ever go to the city of London, particularly by Temple Bar, and enter the city that way, you will see, on top of the plinth, two dragons holding a shield, and no sign of George. Similarly, on the motto, the logo of the Corporation of London, you will also see two dragons and an empty helmet, but no sign of George. However, I believe the story of George and the dragon is the story about how one man comes to lead others who actually defeat Babylon. The dragon is Babylon, basically. And therefore, what I'm going to do, of course, in the next few days is going to take the whore of Babylon. So I am going to make come true the myth of George and the dragon. However, you'll notice that I'm standing here by some ancient stocks between two pillars here. Two pillars are quite interesting in themselves. We always see two pillars everywhere, twin towers and so on. But of course, this is what happened in the old days. When you violated their laws, they literally trapped you in the stocks. Now if people liked you, they'd feed you in the stocks. If people didn't like you, they would pelt you with rotten fruit and worse, basically. But of course what they've done now is get us into a metaphorical stocks. In fact, perhaps it's no coincidence that people trade in stocks and shares and therefore become imprisoned to the system. And although you may think you're free because you wander around, you're not physically constrained by something like this, in fact you're even less free because they have you at all angles. They have you in perpetual debt and you know that you can never pay those debts off. So that's why I'm saying now, we've come further than this. We don't put people in stocks anymore, although I'm the arbiter of the law. And sometimes I think it might be quite salutary for someone like Tony Blair or George Bush to spend, say, a day in the stocks and see what people said to them. I'm sure they'd want to go up to them and discuss the price of eggs with them. And why exactly they've been responsible for the slaughter of 2 million people. And I'm sure everybody would be very responsible and not be tempted to pelt them with rotten eggs and worse. But I'm only joking, seriously. We can't be violent to these people. So nevertheless, we stand here at a symbol of something that was the imprisonment of man. People were put in here not for breaking God's law often, they were put in here for breaking the laws of Babylon, the laws about, we know, in fact in the Victorian era, people were transported, they were hanged for stealing things like an apple basically. And again, God's not on that side at all. So from this spot, let us remember these stocks as the kind of things that human beings used to do. And let us remember, under the new covenant of love, that we shouldn't need prisons in future. We shouldn't even need law courts. People should be so sharing, so willing to give up what they have for the good of God, that they shouldn't need to go fight for in a law court with somebody else. And no one should need to be punished. Everybody should accept that when they've done something wrong under God's law, they should come to know why they've done that wrong and then say sorry for it. And that's good enough for me, and it's good enough for Jesus. And if it's good enough for us, it should be good enough for you. So there's going to be no revenge, no bloodshed, no death penalties carried out to try and clear the world of these people. The way we serve God is by making them better people and showing them that we have a better way. I want every Zionist to come and live in love and live in the new world. So thank you for listening. Remember, conquer the fear, embrace the love.